Hey, what's going on, guys? In this video, I'm going to be covering March Madness Survivor. And if you're not familiar with Survivor, I'll go over the rules. I'll go over my strategy, click through some of the contests that I've entered. I've got Splash Sports pulled up on the screen here. If we go to their homepage, it looks like this. This is for me right here, of course. I need to fill out those entries. And then, yeah, you just scroll through here. And there's a ton of contests. It's, I guess, a little confusing potentially. This one's actually not bad. I just don't have enough money in there. I might put more in. But I'll go to the contest that I've entered in so we can break those down and kind of my strategies. Now, real quick, before we get into it, here's the $1 million tournament. All you have to do is make a winning pick each of the 10 days. So day 7 and 8 are kind of combined. That's the round of 8. So there's only 4 games. And I think they just want to give people a chance to be a little bit more flexible, because when you pick a team, you can't pick the team again. So it's very simple rules. It sounds super easy, but then when you start looking into it, oftentimes these last 4 picks, there's only one path you can go to make it through. Last year was crazy. There was two 1 seeds that played in the championship, I believe, but there was an 11 seed that got to the final 4. So there was a point where you had to have picked an 11 seed over a 4 seed, and that was the only path through to victory. So it was pretty crazy last year. Depending on how things shake up, this year is looking like 4 1 seeds will make it. The Vegas odds are what I use to determine that. So I look at Vegas odds to win it all, to get to the final 4. And then I look, of course, at head-to-head matchups and how many points a team is favored by. So early on, like if we look at tomorrow, you really want to save, you have to save your 1 seeds. If you think the 1 seeds are going to get to the final 4, which I do, you have to save the 1 seeds. And then you really can touch the 2s and 3s because you only have 10 picks. So if you use all 4 1 seeds, you only have 6 picks. If you use all 4 2 seeds, I mean, things would have to go perfectly, but you really don't even need to touch a 4 seed technically. You're probably going to have to because things are going to get crazy. But you ideally want to pick a team that's going to win and then not make it very far. So for me, I like Wisconsin a lot. I like Purdue a lot. People might say, dude, Purdue could get upset. Purdue's not that good. They only have a 77% chance at beating a 13 seed. And to that, I would say, yes, that's why they're such a good pick here, because they're probably going to get bounced round 2. So, or the round of 32, so the second round of the tournament. So you really want to pick, ideally, teams that'll get bounced round 2. Another team I love is Gonzaga. Gonzaga is a 7.5-point favorite. If I burn Gonzaga round 1, I now go into the final 9 picks, and I haven't even touched seeds 1 to 7. I haven't even burned any of that. So realistically, most common pick I'm going to have here are the 3 seeds. So Wisconsin and Texas Tech. Now in the contest that I picked Texas Tech, what I'm going to do is pick St. John's to beat Texas Tech when they get to that point. So just for the video, let me click Save Picks here. And then I'll click Add New Entries. Oh, shit. That's not what I wanted to click. We'll go to day 2 here. So day 2, same round of 64. You just pick, you just pick another team. I like Oregon a lot here. I like Maryland a lot as a 4 seed. There's another 4 seed that I think I like here. Iowa State's a really good one. Like Kentucky. Arizona and Maryland are the 2 that I like a lot. So I'll just pick Maryland there, lock this in. And these are good picks, but I also am just trying to explain the game to you guys. So I go back to my entries. So I have to do this 67 times, right? Kind of weird. So this is entry 1 down here. Okay, so it's showing me all the entries I haven't done. So I'm going to have to do this 46 more times because I have 47 entries. Or no, I have 60 entries, so I got to do it 59. Whatever. I have to do it a lot. I have a long night ahead of me. But what I'll probably do is break my 60 entries into 4 paths of 15. So I'll take 4 teams, and on day 1, see if I can go 4-0, picking 2 and 3 seeds, maybe a couple 4 seeds. And then yeah, just see if I can get through the first 2 days without touching the 1 seeds. So I have Gonzaga and Kentucky here. If they both win, I go to day 3. Now here's where it gets interesting. I can't use them again. So I'm going to pull up a bracket here. This is a guy on Twitter that's really deep into college basketball. I'm also not deep into college basketball. I'm just approaching this with strategy and kind of using Vegas's lines to determine where the value is. For example, like Gonzaga is a 7.5-point favorite over Georgia. So that's like one of the better mid-range favorites. Like outside of the top 4 seeds on the first day of the tournament, Gonzaga, Clemson, and Missouri are the 3 teams that are like 7.5-point favorites. Obviously, none of those teams should make it past the 1 or 2 seeds in their quarter of the bracket. So they're really good to burn day 1. Anyways, when I pick Gonzaga here, I'm now rooting for them to lose to Houston here. The reason why is because if I pick Gonzaga round 1 and then they beat Houston and beat Clemson, they go on this run, even if they just beat Houston, I am now sitting here where I never got to use Houston at all. So whenever you pick a team, it's your advantage if that team loses. If we go down to this quadrant down here, on the times that I pick Texas Tech, on those entries that I start off day 1 with Texas Tech, my third pick is going to be St. John's over Tech. The reason why is because if St. John's beats Tech, by just predicting that one thing, I now have covered day 1. And Sweet 16, I think, is like day 4 or 5 in the contest because you do have to pick 2 picks in the round of 64. And I think another 2 in the round of 32. But you see what I'm saying? You're kind of building these long-term predictions. And then once St. John's, in that case, if St. John's plays Florida, I would want to pick Florida. But once you get to that Elite 8 stage of the game, you have to start considering, okay, am I going to pick Florida to win it all? Because if you're going to pick Florida to win it all, you cannot pick them until the last round. Now, here's what's really cool for me. Go back to Splash here. This is a $1 million contest, $100 entries. There's 6,700 people that have entered. It's going to be a bit of a long shot for me to win, right? But if you look at this one right here, also another thing to consider, guys, is the G means guaranteed. So even if these don't fill, like this one right here might not fill. I don't know how big this guy's following is. But if this doesn't fill, I'm now in a contest where I have 16 entries, only 176 people in there. And then it's 25 grand guaranteed. So that's insane to turn 800 into 25 grand. Now we look over here at Austin's props right here. Shout out to Austin. He's also on Winnable as well. He's big on X. But yeah, his contest is pretty small. I own 25 entries in here. One thing that I looked at in this contest was I looked at the entries and I looked at how many people had multiple entries. So you can see the entrants over here. So you can actually see I have a ton, and I don't think anyone else, my bad guys. It's easier to navigate this on the iPhone, but nobody else really has a ton of entries. I think the most I saw was like 5. So it's basically me and then a bunch of broke people. Nothing wrong with being broke, but it's a bunch of broke people on a budget that have entered this contest. Well, what are they going to do if they have one crack at it? They're going to try to build the perfect path. When you try to build the perfect path, when you try to do something that's like 1 in 1,000 or 1 in 500, you know, it's probably about 1 in 500 that you can get this right all the way to the end. You're going to probably fuck up early. And you have to take unnecessary risks to pull something like that off. Whereas for me, I'm looking at this and I've got 25 paths. So what I can actually do here, and man, this does not look great, this user interface on the computer. Let me click it again. Okay, this is a little bit better. So I can see all 25 entries here. So what I can do is I can actually say, okay, I don't think any of these guys are going to get to day 9 or 10. Realistically, they're probably not. So now my goal is to survive day 8. So I'm not trying to go 10-0 in this contest. I'm trying to go 8-0 because I know if I get 8 wins, I'm probably gonna take down the whole thing and be the last man standing. I have 25 of the 77 entries. Now, I'm only going to end up making 50 times 25. I think it's like I'll end up making probably 3 to 5 grand doing this. But I'm giving myself such a massive advantage by being the only person with 25 entries. It's kind of, I mean, it's kind of crazy. It's super unfair, but the rules are the rules. 99% of users on the site aren't going to have bankrolls like mine. So is it fucked up? It's a little bit fucked up, but that's why they make maxes. And the truth is, if you're the type of person playing on this site and you don't have a huge bankroll like I have, what I would do is I would find a contest where it's limited to like 4 entries. There's some of these that you can only enter like 4 times. I'll just go back to mine. This one right here, you can only enter 6 times. So you can't really use the bully strategy and create a bunch of entries and just beat people that way. In that one, the Kelly in Vegas one right here, I went all in 133, guaranteed 100K. What can happen in this one for me is if I get through those first 4 days and I hit a tough day, I might have 80 entries left going into day 5. I could put 40 on one team, 40 on the other, and then find a path after that. So there's so many ways to play it. I'm gonna keep you guys updated with this, but let's fill out one of these real quick where I'll show you some that I filled out. So I like Wisconsin a lot, Texas Tech, Clemson, and between Clemson and even Gonzaga is a good one. A&M's a good one there. There's quite a bit of solid teams. I might actually change this from Clemson. I'd hate to fuck it up. But the 3 seeds I think are definitely disposable day 1. Day 2, we have some really good 4 seeds. So I wouldn't want to touch them. But like, honestly, in this one, I'd rather burn Purdue. I'd rather burn Purdue than Clemson. So I'm going to switch that to Purdue just because I know I'm not going to pick Purdue after the first round. They're the worst 4 seed. I'm not picking them round 2 most likely. So I'll probably switch that. And I might even want to get a little bit more safe. But that is day 1. And I'll keep making picks here. But day 1, the teams that I've really put money on are Purdue, Clemson. You know what? Let me go to my big contest. Here we go. Let's just go to this one right here because I have this all filled out for day 1. So you can see the breakdown. I have Missouri in 5 of them. Probably should have bumped that up to 10. I have Wisconsin in 20 of them, and I think I did Wisconsin 5 more times, so 25. I have Purdue in 15, I think it is. Let's see. It needs to load, I guess. Whenever I use this screen recording software, it slows down these sites sometimes. So let's see. Okay, perfect. 5 entries on Michigan. I have Gonzaga 15 times. I have Wisconsin. There's the 5 more that I did. Yep, there it is. And then Texas Tech 20 times. So I burn a 3 seed 20 times. And then St. John's 20 times. Now, if St. John's gets to the Final Four, these are in pretty bad shape. But, I have other lineups that I could choose if St. John's gets to the Final Four, right? Texas A&M for 10, and then Clemson for 10. So what I'll do here, if you guys want to bet with me and you don't want to get on Splash Sports, well, first, if you want to get on Splash Sports, go to the link in the pinned comment. You can join. It's super fun. I don't remember what the welcome bonus is. I think it might be initial deposit match, but honestly, I don't even care about the welcome bonus. It's just a fun site to use. So for tomorrow's games, I will just parlay all the teams that I have any exposure to. Look at Wisconsin, minus 2,800. That's pretty funny. Clemson. All right, let's see. Gonzaga. Here we go. Did not do Kansas. A little bit of Texas A&M. A little bit of Missouri. We got St. John's minus 6,500. That's funny. Texas Tech. And I think that's it for the 20th. So this is actually a plus 321 parlay. Let's put $100 on it. And we will call that our official play of the day. Now, I will say, feel free if you don't like one of those 8 picks, take 1 or 2 of them out. You'll still get a solid payout. But I'm going to keep updating this experience on Splash Sports because I think I put 13 grand in so far. And I really think that there's something special going on here. Like, obviously, Survivor contests, they're kind of seasonal. Like, you can do it for March Madness, do it for NBA playoffs. You can do it for NFL. But it really does seem like if you have a big bankroll, like you could put 100 grand into the site, turn it into 250 grand pretty effortlessly. Just doing things like bullying smaller groups like this, putting 25 entries down in a group that has 77 entries. I just think it's going to be hard to take me out, and most likely I'm going to win that one. But yeah, that's all I've got for you guys in this video. Thank you for watching. I'm going to get some rest. Good luck with all of your picks, building your bracket. This is a fun little alternative to building your bracket, and I'm super excited about it. Nobody on social media is making, or no one on YouTube is making videos about college basketball survivors, so I'm the only one right now. But hopefully more people make videos because I know, my videos aren't the most well thought out or edited. I kind of just click record and talk. But yeah, thanks for watching to the end, and I'll keep you guys updated after day 1. I'll make another video tomorrow night talking my game plan going into day 2. So see you later. Good luck, everybody.